Or so, as the music plays, we invite you to just close your eyes, relax, rest in the presence, and hold space.
Namo
Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome to our weekly online Satsang. Satsang being a spiritual community when two or more people on the path of awakening and divine union come together to share their journey, to share their inner silence, to share their blessings with one another and their challenges. We have a Satsang. And we're much stronger together than we are apart. There's some scripture that says something about one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight, but a threefold cord is not easily broken. So the more of us that come together in spirit, the stronger we are, individually and collectively. So glad you're here. Please leave us a like or a love. No matter when you join us, if you're on Facebook Live, give us a heart or a thumbs up or whatever emoji speaks to you. And we go in after the satsangs and look at the names. And I do during the week, I keep coming back because a whole bunch of people watch these between Monday night and the next Monday night. And I want to stay connected. So we send special blessings and hugs to you when we see your name. If you're watching on Vimeo, you can just put something in the chat, like, hi, it's me. But use a name we'll recognize, and we'll bless you as well. And if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, you can always message us. We'd love to know you were there. We share throughout these satsangs the Flowering Heart Blessing, a direct transmission from the divine source of enlightened consciousness, love, light, grace. It's an amazing thing. The Flowering Heart Blessing, we're just instruments of that blessing that comes from the divine. We don't make it happen or structure it. We just invite the divine to pour it through us and get out of the way. And it catalyzes awakening in the recipient. If you're already awakening, it melts blocks and smooths the journey. If you're already awakened, congratulations. It's not a destination. There's more. And the Flowering Heart Blessing will take you deeper into awakened consciousness.
Your connecting flight will be.
So, please join us because you're already soaking in it. The divine showed us that when someone receives one of these blessings, some of you have heard the Sanskrit word Diksha, that means blessing. And actually, it's often translated that way now, but it means literally, and in many times it's translated initiation. So these blessings are not only catalytic, but it's an initiation. And part of it is for you to be able to pass it on to others. So just join us. Invite the divine to pour the Flowering Heart Blessing through you. You don't have to see it, feel it, know how it works. Just know the divine, when you give permission, does it. And we hold in our intentions everyone that joins us on Monday night and everyone that ever sees this video or listens to the audio at any time in the future. Because the blessing is spirit. And spirit, unlike energy, is unbounded by time or space. It's always fully here and now, even if you're watching this 100 years after it was made. So, and when you're inviting the divine to pour the blessing through you to others, it works on you as it's flowing through you. So it's a win-win. And we like to open it at the beginning of the webcast to questions and answers about the spiritual journey. You might have some answers. But if you have questions, please share them because it helps everyone. Even though your journey is unique, we all share similar roadblocks and obstacles and plateaus and have similar questions. And so when you throw your question out there, some area about spirituality where you'd like to have more clarity, more light, it helps absolutely everyone who watches this and joins us. So while you think about that and ask that still small voice inside of you, is there something I might ask or share in the satsang tonight that would catalyze the discussion for everyone? I'm sure there's some area where you'd like more clarity. I think we've all got that. And while you're considering it,
The workshop?
Oh, the workshop. February 1st and 2nd, coming up in just under 3 weeks. We're doing the first residential course. When I say residential, meaning it's happening here in our center and not online. And it's called Diamond Heart Quantum Liberation. And we invoke some of the dynamics of quantum physics, which means anything is possible. In the quantum field, no matter how you feel or think right now, there is a reality in the quantum field where you are awakened and in divine union. And you may think, oh, not me, I'm not there. But we're going to help to bring everyone in the workshop to the point of making that connection with what is already real deep inside of you and bring it to the surface and activate the diamond body, the diamond heart, and so many other things. It's February 1st and 2nd. All the information as well is right there on the Facebook profile page, if that's where you are. But more information is at our website, floweringheart.org. Even I forget that. I told someone my email address is michael@floweringheart.com.
Oh.
Kayla said, well, it bounced. Yeah. Anyway, it's floweringheart.org, and there's all kinds of information, many different types of meditation and insights into the spiritual journey from many different traditions, and would invite you to explore. I think there are hundreds of pages there that we've built over the years that continue to help people. And there's an initiation video. It's 36 minutes long. There's a link to it on the home page and in various other places on the website, easily to be found, which explains the Flowering Heart blessing and the power of blessing a little more deeply, and leads the listener in a meditation of initiation to take on the grace of the Flowering Heart blessing and begin to share it. So if you don't have a blessing circle nearby where you live, start one. Invite one or two or however many, but just at least one spiritual friend, and pull up the website and hit play. You don't even have to pull up our website. You can download the video and play it on your own computer. It's fine. We'd like you to use it and would love for you to start a blessing circle of your own. We grow so much faster when we come together regularly to share the direct transmission of divine grace. So while you're thinking about those questions that I don't see any of yet, I like to share quotes from a website called inspiringquotes.com, where a group of authors shares brief articles and lists of quotes from influential people that illuminate certain relevant topics. The author of tonight's selection is, I'll get there in just a second, Christy Lee Barnes. I'm not sure we've ever shared any from her. And Christy Lee Barnes lives in the Pacific Northwest with her husband and toddler son. She's a poet, educator, and an extremely slow trail runner. I like that. So thank you, Christy, for this contribution. And it's entitled 11 Lighthearted Takes on Long-Term Relationships. All romantic relationships are bound to have highs and lows. But when it comes to long-term partnerships, many couples find themselves somewhere in the middle, having settled into routines and patterns forged over months, years, or even decades together. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of daily life and forget to slow down and really appreciate our long-term partners, to celebrate them, or let's be real, to tease them mercilessly for those quirks that made us fall in love with them in the first place. One of the many perks of long-term partnership is the ability to revel in the silly inside jokes that come with knowing someone inside and out. Whether it's our partner's penchant for singing off-key opera in the shower, not me, or embarrassing yet endearing nickname that only we're allowed to use, or a memory from way back when that still makes us laugh. Any happy long-term partnership is bound to yield an abundance of light-hearted, cherished moments. So let's celebrate those little moments. Those sweet, goofy times may seem insignificant while they're unfolding, but making an effort to find the joy within the everyday moments can go a long way toward making relationships and life in general a lot more fun. With that being said, here are 11 quotes that poke a little bit of fun at the everyday ups and downs of long-term relationships. So here we go. You can't have a relationship where one person says, "I love you," and the other says, "I'm hungry, let's get something to eat," unless you're married. Larry David. Some of the freckles I once loved are now closer to liver spots. But it's still the eyes we look at, isn't it? That's where we found the other person and find them still. Julian Barnes. I myself, I love being married because it's so great to find that one special person you want to annoy for the rest of your life. Rita Rudner. I've actually pinpointed the exact moment when a relationship goes long term. I think it's when, before sex, you no longer take each other's clothes off, but you take your own clothes off independently because you realize it's more practical and less time consuming. Michael McIntyre. I'm married for love, but the obvious side benefit of having someone around to find my glasses cannot be ignored. Cameron Esposito. How true. I always say if you're married for 50 years and 10 of them are horrible, you're doing really good. Michelle Obama. When people ask me what's the key to my long marriage and lasting love, I always say, stay gone. And there's a lot of truth to that. I travel a lot, but we really enjoy each other when we're together. Dolly Parton. Bill and I had a marriage so flexible that whenever we went on a vacation together, someone would invariably ask me how long I'd been widowed. Emma Bombeck. Movie characters might chase each other through the fog or race down the stairs of burning buildings, but that's for beginners. Real love amounts to withholding the truth, even when you're offered the perfect opportunity to hurt someone's feeling. David Sedaris. Interesting. Don't go to sleep angry. I go to sleep angry all the time because he falls asleep before me and I'm just like, oh, you got nothing to overthink right now, okay? It's the little things you share together, swear together, wear together that make perfect relationships. The concerts you enjoy together, neighbors you annoy together, children you destroy together that keep marriage intact. Stefan Sandheim. I thought there was humor in that. You might enjoy even if you're not in a long-term relationship. Well, Stacy says namaste and thank you, Michael and Suzanne. Happy full moon. Well, thank you.
Yes, happy full moon.
It is a great full moon. All right. Well, I guess we're not ready yet for a question or something. So I got something else to share. Do you?
Yeah. Somebody mentioning the full moon sent me a little quip from a woman that's doing a meditation. And she says that this full moon is a tipping point moon, one of the most powerful in 2025, and that the more that we focused on unity and peace and consciousness today during this full moon, the more powerful it is because so many other people are going to be doing the same thing. So send extra prayers and extra blessings for peace and unity.
Well, Stacy's got a question too.
Yay.
How important is strict? We could just stop right there. But I'll go ahead. How important is strict structure for spiritual growth? I do prayers, meditation, reading spiritual texts every morning, but always in a different order. I used to be a lot more rigorous and strict with how long I did these. Maybe I'm changing and have new needs now. I love it. And how important. Structure is very important at certain points in the spiritual journey. And it's really important to sort of listen to the leading of your heart and of spirit to when to let that rigorous structure go and just be spontaneous. There are those that have ascended to the heights of spiritual awakening and divine union who never employed any strict regimens at all. I've always secretly envied them. But it's a balance, really. In the beginning, we tend to be more strict and structured in our spiritual practice. And as our relationship with the divine, with the universe, with awakened consciousness deepens, there's less and less need for strict regimen. But structure is important too. I know a number of master teachers who are considered enlightened. And when asked, it seems that all of them say that they continue their spiritual practice. Zen master, already fully enlightened, reached fourth Kensho years ago, will still meditate every day because it's a very, very healthy and balanced and integral practice. One Zen master who I followed a little bit said, I've observed over the years that enlightenment is an accident. There is no strict regimen. There is no particular practice that guarantees enlightenment. I love him just for saying that, because so many spiritual systems, this is the science of union. And if you just do it this way, you're guaranteed to evolve into, and that isn't everyone's experience. He said, I've noticed that enlightenment is an accident. But I've also noticed that people with a regular spiritual practice are accident prone in a good way. So you're more likely to have awakening drop on you through grace. I mean, awakening is grace. Divine union is above all grace. It's a gift from Source. That's true. But you're much more likely to receive that gift of grace if you're waiting for it, looking for it. Like the scripture where Christ said, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open unto you. And his brother James said, you have not because you ask not. So asking and putting some action with our seeking, I think that the divine sees that and rewards it, definitely. There's other scripture I can't quote right now that says that we have these certain gifts that God gives us in reward for our discipline, for showing up. Just we keep showing up. So it's great that you do prayer, meditation, read spiritual texts every morning, and mix up the order and don't feel too strict about it. And you may wake up one day and the birds are singing so beautifully out in the garden that you skip your normal structure and just go out in the garden and just enjoy union with life and existence. So, when you say, maybe I'm changing and have new needs, absolutely you're changing. And our needs evolve with us.
I have a hard time with the word strict.
That's why I stopped right there.
For me, what was the word that just came to mind? It's more about a practice of being in the heart as much as I can throughout the day and discerning if I'm in my head or if in my heart or where my reactions or actions are coming from. And for me, it's diligence. That's what it is. It's being diligent on where my state of mind is, where my consciousness is, where am I coming from when I'm interacting with people. And if I'm not doing it very well because I'm coming from my mind or my ego, it causes a lot of imbalance. So just keep returning, I keep returning and keep returning back to the heart and work on what I need to work on if I get out of balance. But it's just become more of a, I keep throwing it out there. After I read Peace Pilgrim, it showed me her diligence in how she wanted to live her life and what motivated her to do that. And it had a big impact on me for how I do things. So for me, meditation and spiritual practice has been brought into everyday life. It's been brought into, you know, coming from my heart when I'm washing the dishes, coming from my heart when I'm running errands, anything that I'm doing throughout, even just driving, letting people in or waving if somebody else lets you in and sending them blessings. So that's where I'm at.
One of the great spiritual teachers that we spent time with said and taught spontaneous meditation. And he said, we prefer, rather than structured practice, just being open to the presence, and the presence just every so often just takes you into a meditative state. And that was what he encouraged above all else. My first teacher, the master of my youth, was a Taoist Chinese monk. And he always said, Taoist way, not forced. It took me years to get it, because Taoist practice is so disciplined. I mean, the Qigong is a very disciplined yoga, and Kung Fu is just outrageously disciplined. And all of the Chinese arts, healing arts, and energy work, and herbal medicine, there's a lot to learn. And yet, he would always say, Taoist way, not forced, if people got into like pushing too much. And the ideal in Taoist cultivation is called Wu Wei, which is Chinese for not doing. It doesn't mean you're sitting there doing nothing or lying in bed all day. It means you're going about your life spontaneously, but there's nobody there doing it. It's just the universe and life is playing through you because the ego's dissolved. So Wu Wei means there's no ego there controlling and directing. There's just the spontaneous dance of life flowing through you. And at that point, your spiritual discipline is just because you like it.
Right.
Right?
That's what I was thinking too. I was reflecting on this proposition here, and it's become because it feels so good to come from the heart. It feels so good to respond instead of react. It feels so good to be positive and not complaining, or it feels so good to serve others and to help out and show up wherever I'm needed. And it's gotten a lot more spontaneous than strict. And I was also thinking about when we went vegan, you know, people are like, oh, poor you, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. But after the first 2 weeks of it, I felt so good. And now it's making conscious choices that make me feel good, not that I'm being deprived of anything. It's also made me a lot more creative to come up with stuff that tastes like what we used to eat and not, you know, and be able to do it in a much healthier way and do some workarounds and stuff. So it's gotten to the point where I try and spend my days as much as I can in joy, because I'm making conscious choices for myself and my body and mind and spirit, that it feels good. And when you get used to that, those programs from the past I'm not going to lie, pizza is still hard to give up. But
there's vegan pizza.
There is vegan pizza. We were
Vegan
talking
sausage?
about it today. Yeah.
Vegan eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking
like
about
them better
it
than
today.
real eggs.
If we actually ate a piece of pizza, it probably wouldn't taste that good to us because it's been almost 3 years now.
Katharina said, and you cook delicious.
Oh, thank you. Put enough garlic in anything. It'll taste good.
Well,
Did Stacy Morris say something else?
No. Oh, yeah, she said, what a relief. I was thinking I was slacking. I like the idea of listening to one's heart. Thank you.
You know, too, that whole concept of slacking and the Protestant work ethic and the we should be doing this, we should be doing that. We're shitting on ourselves all the time. And I find that the older that I get and the more relaxed I get into the present moment and what's going on now instead of worrying about what I should or shouldn't be doing, there's more joy. And you know, there's nothing wrong with joy. There's nothing wrong with being happy. There's nothing wrong with being fulfilled. And a lot of us feel one way or another from certain programs about not having a structure and not having, you know, everything planned and timed, and you know, there's certain things that we have to do and certain times we have to be places, but more and more systematically I've been withdrawing from being in the hamster wheel and trying to fill my days just spontaneously. So
Indeed. Okay, well,
great question, Stacy. Thank you.
I'm going to read, because this isn't long, and I think it might be helpful even. We're on Matt and Joy Khan's mailing list, and some of their emails are just delightful, and I like this one that I just got a couple days ago, and it's entitled, When the World Is. As we enter this brand new year, may we honor the world in its uncanny ability to bring forth both waves of unique circumstances that invite us to anchor our soul's highest intentions in loving service to all. When the world is burning and filled with sudden loss and displacement, may we anchor the vibration of grace that helps each heart find their way through it, whether to the safety of higher ground or through the tunnel of light toward the afterlife of heaven awaiting us all. When the world is divided, judgmental, and at the brink of global conflict, may we anchor the vibration of peace that allows the needs of all beings to be of equal importance. When the world seems unfriendly, rigid in its viewpoint, and dismissive of any other perspective, may we anchor the vibration of compassion that melts the walls dividing any heart from the light of Source. When the world feels like a numb, empty, uninspired place to be and filled with lifeless bodies not knowing who they are or wanting to be here for even a moment longer, may we anchor the vibration of love that allows us to find a renewal of purpose and connection regardless of how others may choose to be. When the world is grieving its losses, desperate for greater perspective and hungry for change, but without a willingness to face the choices and potential discomfort necessary for progress to occur, may we anchor the vibration of courage that invites all hearts to remember how necessary each contribution remains. Even when the world seems like an immovable wall of stagnation that seems impossible to scale, may we anchor the vibration of empowerment that allows the perception of dense walls to dissolve in the presence of light only your soul can reflect. For if you are here to be in the world but not of the world, then now is the time to focus your energy on being whatever seems missing from the world in view. It is much like a cosmic potluck where instead of seeking sustenance from the plates of other people's creations, you allow yourself to be fully nourished by what you bring to the party. No matter the circumstances in view, may you say out loud or silently to yourself, quote, "May I anchor the vibration of," whichever one he mentioned, "for myself and the world around me, regardless of how I feel or what I choose to believe. Thank you, beloved Source, for delivering this vibration to all who are ready to receive it, and may it begin with me." We invite you to repeat this powerful mantra as often as necessary, as a way of reminding you there is no moment too big to serve. There is no action too small to count. Let us unite our intentions and shine together as one. Now is the time. Live brightly. Madam Joy Khan.
That's beautiful. That dovetails what that woman was going to be doing a meditation on tonight. So very powerful. Thanks for sharing that.
He just nailed everything that we're feeling and experiencing, and evokes the vibration that is the medicine.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if you want it, get in touch with me. I'll send this to you, or you can probably get it from Matt Kahn yourself. And I think that brings us to our deeper blessings by intention. So if you would close your eyes and invoke the divine presence in your heart, know that there is no separation between you and the divine presence within you. All of that is a construct of the mind, bad teaching of bad religion. No one is far from God. I read a quote from Ramana Maharshi, one of the greatest God-realized masters of the last century. And he said, grace is always present. We look up to the sky like it needs to be invoked and rained down upon us when it's already here. Whenever your mind dives into the spiritual heart within you, grace begins to rise up and rush at you from the source within your own heart. This grace is pure love, pure mercy, healing, peace, power, wisdom. The divine knows everything about you and loves you anyway, every way, and wants you to let yourself be drawn into the heart of the divine. Now, there's a gravitational pull that's sort of parallel to the sun at the center of our solar system. If you let go of the earth, you get drawn into the sun. If you let go of all the concerns and all the worries and just turn your attention toward the presence at the center and let go, the divine will take you into its loving arms and dissolve your suffering. Dissolve all the illusions of the mind, the wrong thinking and programming and charged feelings, and dissolve all of that and replace it with divinely inspired feelings and thoughts, ideas, structures that come from the heart of God, not from the ego. It will flood your physical body and intelligently seek out blocks in the life force causing dis-ease and dissolve them and flood you with divine health and life. It will shine into your relationships and heal them and make them right. It will shine through your life into the world and illuminate and catalyze others on their journey. Just say yes and relax and receive the blessing of grace that is pouring out to you from within. There's nothing you need to ask for or try to do right now. Just know the divine already knows what you need and has the power and the wisdom to deliver it to you. Just allow and receive the grace of the divine presence. Keep drinking it in. Keep soaking up the grace. Just keep receiving and be grateful. Imagine us sitting in a circle with our eyes closed. Lift up your hands with your palms open, facing forward, and let us take an intention to invite the divine to pour the flowering heart blessing through each of us to all the others in the circle, as it flows back to us through all of them. Leave your burden in the middle of the circle as we hold it and you up to the divine and invoke grace, freedom, and joy in your life. Visualize the planet Earth, the translucent, beautiful blue pearl in the center of our circle. A living planet filled with life, covered with 8 billion some quirky humans who need a lot of love. And let us invite the divine to pour the flowering heart blessing through us to all of humanity, to melt the rigidity, the hardness of heart, the anger, the pain, the stubbornness. Let us invite the presence to melt every human heart and flood it with the grace to flower in oneness with the one love, the one heart of all. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Now you could relax, rest your hands in your lap somewhere. When you're ready, open your eyes. and begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. Just keep looking at least one of our eyes as we begin the light meditation. We keep our eyes open. Suzanne and I are filled with oceans of grace and love and light, and it pours through every fiber of our being to you, especially through our eyes, the windows of the soul. As you just keep looking at our eyes, or at least one, and just relax, that light shines out through our eyes, whether you can see it or not. And it streams in through your eyes, into your spiritual life, causing the light of awakening and the fires of divine love to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. Nothing to do but just drink it in. close your eyes now. Meditate a few more minutes with us as the grace settles within. Now keep meditating as long as it feels nice to you. Or lie down nearby in Shavasana. Shavasana is a yoga pose where you just lie comfortably on your back, with your eyes closed and your arms loosely at your sides with your palms open, turned upward, and just dissolve in the presence with gratitude. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessing.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine within you, and we bow to you.
Namaste.
Namaste.